You know that you're intuitive, but you can't connect in when you want in a clear, grounded way. I can almost guarantee you that it's more about your energy than it is about your intuition. I want to walk you through some very simple things that you can start implementing that can help you start connecting in intuitively so that it doesn't feel so confusing. If this is our first time connecting, my name is Layla. Welcome to Stop Trying to Be Spiritual. It's a podcast where I talk about intuitive development, healing, how to become the intuitive. I went from my RN position of 13 years, never knowing that I was intuitive, to literally doing this full time by co-creating this whole experience with spirit, by learning how to manifest, become the identity, heal with my shadow, and connect into my psychic abilities. If you have not yet, please rate the podcast. And if you want to work with me more one-on-one, look into my offerings or mentorship. Okay. We got that out of the way. The reason I wanted to talk about this, I got out of a spirit connector session. This client was saying, I know I'm intuitive. I feel things. Sometimes I close my eyes and I've seen actually images of angels. I see colors. I feel sensations. But when I try to connect in for myself, I'm not really receiving anything. We can very often think that there's something wrong with us, you're not clairvoyant or you're not intuitive or your guides don't really care. And that is never it. Never, never, never it. Okay. It is usually, most frequently, your own sense of energetic flow, your sense of connection to yourself, your ability to be present within your body. Now, I know while I'm saying this, for some people, that might make complete sense what I'm saying. And other people, it's like you're speaking in words that don't make sense, Layla. I'm going to kind of talk to you about what I typically walk people through in a spirit connector session. And those are the sessions where you know that you want to connect to your intuition, your guides. So this was what she booked. She was like, I know I'm intuitive. I know I'm empathic. I'm neurodivergent. I struggle feeling as though my mind isn't in 1,000 different places. And I was like, okay, well, what is your current spiritual practice? What are you doing on a consistent basis? And she, more than most people, had said that, yes, I'm trying to meditate. I do know about chakras. And I kind of turn them on and I still don't get anything. And I ask these questions so that I have an awareness of what are you actually doing day to day to facilitate this connection, because facilitation and creating the relationship is 100% necessary for you to go from just a random intuitive person to actually utilizing and be able to connect into your psychic abilities, your spirit guides with clarity at any time. Okay. That will always take practice. I think we have the idea a lot of times, I did too, that if this was something for me or if I'm meant to be intuitive or psychic, it would just be so clear and easy all the time. You have moments of clarity. Okay. There's moments of clarity to the beginner intuitive, where you just close your eyes and you're just being taken through a movie screen and it's like, oh, it all makes sense. But to become a developed, discerning, grounded intuitive, it requires you to choose it. Okay, that's something I've been talking about a lot this week on Instagram and TikTok. I've been talking about choosing the identity. That's why I created the How to Actually Change Your Life course, because it's how to become the identity of the intuitive. You have to choose it. Okay. So that's why I ask these questions in the beginning of spirit connector sessions or in my mentorships. I want to know what you're currently doing. And so she had already kind of been doing more than what most people are doing. And I said, okay, we're going to walk through the chakras then. This is what I do for everyone. We're going to open them up. But instead of just this on the surface, okay, open my root, open my crown, open my solar plexus. What I have people do, because this is what my guides led me through, is that we open up the chakras and then we intuitively feel, what does it feel like, look like? What do we just know? What can we perceive this chakra looks like? And then what can I then request, shift, or command the energy to become? I'll kind of do an example for the root chakra. First chakra pointing downwards in between the leg. It's usually some sort of ruby red, sometimes a dark red, some sort of red brown color. This is connected to our sense of grounding, our sense of safety. It's necessary for manifesting, where financials and worries about just our overall safety kind of land. And or am I safe even connecting to this energy, to this spiritual connection? This is where fear can really reside. What I have her do is I say, okay, open, spin, and balance now. to command that chakra to open. Well, how do you command it? You just do. This happens through tons of practice and tons of discernment, but you can very quickly affect your energetic field, your vibrational frequency with choice. Now, you're not used to believing that you have that authority. That's just because of how we're taught, we're raised, right? That's something that you have to lean into. That's the identity work, that I have the authority of which that I can command to my own field and meet it. So we work on commanding that chakra to open and then invite her to start becoming curious about how she perceives that chakra is. Now, before a spirit connector session, I scan your field. I talk to your guides. I learn what your natural intuitive flow is, what you're currently doing to possibly bypass it, and then what you need to start doing so that your intuition can flow with more clarity. So for her, it's going to be, she is a clairaudient, and then she feels, and then she sees. So what do you just want to say you feel like that chakra looks? You see how I did that? She's a clairaudient, meaning she hears. She's a clairsentient, that means she feels. I just feel. She's also empathic, but we're just going to work with the I feel. So I encouraged her, what do you just feel like saying? Tying those two together. And then when she started to do that, then an image or a feeling of an image would start to come through with that root chakra. Okay. I feel like, I feel like it looks red. I feel like it's spinning. And then I start to ask questions. Would you say it's really bright? Would you say it feels dull? Do you feel like saying that the spin is even, or is there a wobble? Is it open or is it closed? Do you feel like out of 0 out of 10, how open the chakra is? And then can we move a kitchen dial to make it more open? See, when we just kind of stay on the surface, either with our shadow work or a connection to our guides or a connection to energy management, energy healing, right? Like I open the chakra, go. And we just like jump over it. And you're like, hey, I did the work. I opened my chakras, but you didn't really. Because most intuitives, most teachers aren't really teaching you to go that deep. I needed that. Because what's happening is if you don't believe or you can't connect into that energy of the root by working with it, diagnosing it, shifting the energy, then you're going to have a really hard time actually allowing that chakra to open and clear. Okay. That's why most people need an energy healer. They need someone trained in Reiki. They need whatever, all the other energy healing modalities that we call. We all can be energy healers, and we all are. And so what you can use is your own, what is it before? What is it then that I want to create? And then utilize your own intuitive and psychic abilities. This is where I really step in and like help you create that, right? Like, how do you take it from this to this? Because then what's going to happen is when your root, maybe you opened it, but, and then you start connecting in and you're like, okay, it's kind of dull. It's red, but it's not as bright. I feel like it's a little wobbly. I feel like it's kind of heavy. Okay. Utilize this to now make it whiter. Utilize this, command this energy to make it brighter. And then what I do is I have you notice, what did you feel like before versus what did you feel like after? Did you feel that shift? Oh yeah. Most times they're like, I'm actually starting to feel energy pulsing. I'm starting to feel movement. I'm starting to feel more awake just with that. So when we can start symbolically, intuitively utilizing your natural psychic flow to then regulate your own energetic field, like opening up these chakras, okay? I want you to think of them as the antennas through which information, intuitive, spirit, non-physical, is coming through to being received in these chakras. And it's our job to discern if it's information for us or if it's not. Each chakra is correlated to a psychic ability. Your third eye chakra is connected to your clairvoyance, your ability to see. Your solar plexus chakra, yellow chakra, is connected to your ability to say quantumly, I just feel like. It's your sense of power, right? Okay. So these chakras bring in, without, you don't need to be aware of this. It's happening regardless. Bring in this intuitive spirit energy. And it is our job as intuitive psychics, as highly sensitive people, as empaths, to feel into this information and create meaning. When I say how your energy flows, I mean, what psychic ability does energy dominantly want to go through? Does it want to go through your third eye? Does it want to go through your sense of clairsentience? Does it want to go through your clairaudience? This is what I mean. So when we open up these chakras and we make them brighter and we spin them and we release any energy that's kind of being held in these spaces, it turns up the volume of this chakra's ability to connect and discern spirit, intuitive energy. It's like wanting to paint a picture and your paintbrushes are all dirty and crusty because you just aren't regularly cleaning them and spinning them out and drying them. And you're like, I want to go paint like Van Gogh. Your picture is probably going to look pretty elementary. And so in the same way, I want you to think of your energetic field and your chakras as a paintbrush. Are you clearing it? Are you cleansing it? You want to use the blue paintbrush for the blue paint, your throat chakra, clear it, clean it. You want to connect in more clairsentiently with the yellow paintbrush, with the yellow paint, clean it, clear it. What often happens, and this is really what I'm wanting to get to, is people come into a session and they think, this is my problem. I just need some sort of activation or to get my spirit guides in check for me to finally start connecting into these abilities, this connection. But that's never it. Because what happens, and what happened with this client and what happens with almost every single person, that's why I can really firmly say this, is that we're going to start going through the chakras. We're going to start opening them up. And you are going to, a lot of times, have a certain chakra that stops you and you go, oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm about to cry. And I'm going to say, do it. I want the emotion to come up. I tell you to greet it. And so I walk through little things of how can we meet it? How can we thank it? Thank you for coming up, right? Allow that space, because what's happened is you have emotion and energy, thoughts, feelings, fears, anxieties, kind of being held in each of these chakras, right? Especially if you're not clearing them frequently. I do it every single day. I do it multiple times a day sometimes. And so if you're like, yeah, sometimes I wash my bed sheets, sometimes I wash my makeup brushes, sometimes I wash my paint brushes. Yeah, of course there is a struggle. So we go through each of the chakras and we meet it. And then, when she was in her solar plexus, she started crying. Okay, meet it, love it, thank it. And then symbolically, what does that emotion want to show up as? So I show her and or you how to symbolically see a picture or just feel or just know of what that emotion and energy is and what it needs to balance. And then we offer it. Okay. So if the energy says, I need love. Okay. This is rooted from maybe a conversation. Say we have a symbolic representation come up where it's a fight that you had 2 weeks ago with a best friend. Okay. Then what we do is we thank it. And then symbolically, we ask, what do you need to shift? And we allow the wisdom of your intuition to come through. Oh, I'm actually seeing a picture where I'm hanging out with them, or I'm writing a note to them, or I'm giving myself compassion. Can I receive that? Can I accept that? Yes. Clear now. Drop. That's how you become your own energy healer. And the reason why I'm kind of going off on this is because I know what it's like to feel like I need someone else to fix this or save me. Because if I had the ability to do it myself, I would have done it, right? That's what I'm thinking. If I had the ability to change this, don't you think that my constant thinking about this and my anxiety and my panic would have shifted it? That's what we think. But no, actually, you don't need someone else. It can be supportive to have someone reflect onto you, especially when you're learning how to do this. I still get sessions with people that I trust. Sometimes I just need to be reflected. Everything they're saying, like, yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you. But I leave just nourished from it. Okay. So we can clear our own energy. We can become our own energy healer so that we are not feeling like, God, will someone help me? When will God deliver me from this? And it's really, when will you fully meet yourself and receive it and love yourself and drop the energy? Do something different. That's what we do when we go through the chakras. And so it was so interesting as we continue to go through each chakra. I show her how to ground her third eye. She's just each chakra, she's feeling the emotion just come out. Because at first she was really stoic, but then like each chakra, more and more energy and information and more clearing. is happening. So when we opened all the chakras, started to spin earth and cosmic energy, I show her how to expand her energy. She's already starting to receive intuitive information. She's already connecting into a guide and an angel. And she's feeling the energy. And she's not even doubting it. I'm already writing it down, like all this stuff about her from her spirit guide, what they're saying, confirm it with her. It takes opening up and releasing all of the emotional energy that you're holding in to allow your intuition to flow. And we're doing it backwards. Cart before the horse. A lot of people are wanting to see their guides get their answer, and they're putting the cart before the horse. The way you get the answer is by first meeting yourself, opening up your energy, meeting that emotion, clearing it, loving it, expanding yourself. And then all of a sudden you raise your energy, your vibration. You can tap into, have a conscious awareness of that higher frequency that you already are. But our emotion and our energy that we keep so close to us and trapped away is disconnecting us from our ability to perceive that frequency. Okay. So instead of just wanting the answer, I just need the answer. I want you to instead say, ooh, what do I need to meet right now? How do I need to open my energy? What parts of me are wanting to show up? It's going to be your shadow. It's going to be your inner child. It's going to be ancestral energy. It's going to be fears. It's open them all up. Open all the doors up. That's what my guides used to always tell me. They'll still tell me that. Actually, they told me that yesterday. Go back and open up all the doors within you, Layla. When I say doors, I mean everything that we sometimes don't even know that we're stopping ourselves from fully meeting. I feel afraid right now. Why do I feel afraid? Well, I'm afraid if this doesn't happen, that I'm going to look foolish and everything's going to fall apart. Can I meet that? Can I balance that? Can I love that? And then drop. The literal frequency that you hold, the vibration that you hold, it's measured by how much you're able to meet yourself and be present with yourself and love compassionately all aspects of you. Good, bad, and ugly. There's something beautiful that happens when I'm hearing this phrase in my head, let all the monsters out. That is what we're doing when we're opening up our field. We're allowing ourselves to be present with ourselves. Even the things that hurt us, okay? When we meet it, then your intuition just starts to flow. There was, specifically for this client, she was really needing to lean into more whimsy, more sense of creativity. A creative who is not creating in some way is dangerous. I'm a creative. You create multiple different ways. Okay. It can be art. It can be writing. It can be music. It can be decorating your home, good cooking. There's some sort of creative force that wants to move through you. Okay. If you are not doing it, that creative energy will get stuck in the mind. This is where I have seen, not medical advice, where depression and anxiety, struggles with in oscillating moods can be further exacerbated by a creative not creating. I always know when I'm in my head, I need to go create. I need to go do something. I need to go write. I need to go talk. This podcast is a creative outlet for me. I'm not scripting it. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm just sharing my experience with you. That to me is a creative flow where I can just, all that stuff in my head. Okay. So when you meet that energy, you open up the chakras, you learn to become your own energy healer, your own commander of energy. You become sovereign in your power, then your intuition, your ability to connect into your guides, everything starts to flow easier. Now, development still needs to happen, especially if you want to take it to where you're offering it for other people. But the flow and the connection to your soul, your intuition, your guides can happen immediately upon opening up and releasing yourself from your own bondage. So I like in a session when usually a client's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I started crying. I'm like, no, this is good. Because that means that you're willing to be present. You're not willing to bypass yourself. And a lot of times I'll see clients go through opening up their chakras like, yeah, it looks great. I'm like, no, because we want to get to the good stuff. We think I want to just talk to my guides. I don't want to deal with this. The one that shows me that you are putting the cart before the horse. You don't perceive your connection to your own energy as being holy and worthy. And it's just unconscious. We don't even know we're doing it. So my prescription for most people is to spend time in your own energy every day. Don't look for questions from your guides. You can, but at first, let me just be curious about my own energy. Let me invite it, open up my chakras, utilize my psychic senses to play with this energy, to see if I feel a difference before and after, and then allow my soul just to move through me. Let me just seep in the energy of my soul. This will typically take away all of the questions that you usually have. If you have a lot of questions to Spirit, when will this happen? When is this? I got them wrote down too. I'm like, ooh, I need to meet myself. Because as soon as you open up your energy and you truly meet it and you truly run your soul, you'll notice that what your questions were attempting to create for you is a sense of peace that can only really happen when you allow yourself to remember and become and soak in the energy of your soul, and then the questions fall away. The questions were an attempt to feel better, but once you actually connect to the soul, release the energy that you're holding on to, you already feel it. And so you realize, I don't really have that many questions, actually. Just how do I develop this more? The cool thing is when we're going through your chakras, we're killing two birds with one stone because we're doing psychic development. I'm having you feel, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you want to say? What do you just know? And so you're already unknowingly working on your psychic abilities while working on your energy healing, while commanding your field. It's like a 2-for-1. It's a 3-for-1, honestly. So when it comes time to connect, it's so much more clear. I would encourage you, if you feel called to working one-on-one with me, connecting to your guides, your psychic abilities, your intuition, to either book a Spirit Connector session. If you want me to read for you, that's a spirit-led intuitive session. And or if you're like, this is for me, I know this is what I want. I want to create a life that's intuitively led. That's my 3-month mentorship program. All information will be down below. Again, please rate or like the show, leave a comment. Let me know how this hits, what you're interested in hearing about on this podcast. I react and or reply to every single comment that you guys leave. I love, that's the beginning of my week. I go through and read comments. Share it with somebody that you love, that you know will be interested in this kind of conversation and this kind of work. And until next time, stop trying to be spiritual.